Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Glad this week's over. It has been rough, let me tell you. If you've been keeping score and watching all the videos for this week, you know what I'm talking about. And today was no exception. First, I want to mention this weekend is all set up. So I got the videos for tomorrow and Sunday already uploaded, scheduled, and everything. Tomorrow's my testimonial video. It'll be real interesting to see what kind of traffic, if any, comes to the channel for that video. I'm real curious to see. Hopefully I've got a good enough title and tags in it that enough people find that video. We'll see. And then and Sunday is the video I mentioned where I talk about why I don't do ride along videos anymore. So that video is Sunday, and then we'll be back to dashing on Monday. Okay, so this is the recap for Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Again, I start off with some pretty routine stuff early on. So at 6:15, I get a $5 McDonald's, 17 minutes, 2 and 3. Okay, pretty standard. Then immediately get a $6 Starbucks, 17 minutes, 3 and 3. Okay. And here we go with a $5 Panera order ready, 4 miles. Okay, so just going through the motions here, routine. Folks, I get to the store. I click arrived at store, and I walk in there. I don't see. They set the orders right in front, and I don't see my customer sitting there. So my first instinct is, oh crap, another driver picked this up. So I stand there for not very long, about a minute or so. Nobody helps me. I had to go to the bathroom. So I went back to the back, went to the bathroom, come back up, stand there another, I don't know, 2 minutes or so. I don't think it couldn't have been 3 minutes. And then finally, a guy asks who I'm there for, and I show the customer name. And then he's like, are you sure this isn't a Panera order? Folks, I was standing inside the Starbucks. I completely did wrong store altogether. I was in Starbucks, not Panera. And it was within, they're not next door to each other, but it's well within a quarter-mile difference. So that's why I was able to click arrive at store, because it's just, the Panera is just kind of like in the next little shopping center over. The other day, I went to the wrong McDonald's. Today, I go to a completely different store. And I told my wife, I said, next week, I wouldn't be surprised if I get some order come across my screen. I accept it, and I drive down to the middle of Kentucky to pick up an order. And then it takes me like I don't know, like 4.5 hours driving down there before I finally stop the car somewhere and realize that I don't know who I am, where I'm at, or what I'm supposed to be doing. And then, my wife said when they go to look through my phone and find her and you go to call her to report that they found me, she's going to be like, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who that is. And so, folks, your guess is as good as mine. What's going to happen to me? I mean, does Kentucky still have state hospitals? I know we don't have those around here anymore. Am I going to get thrown into a state hospital? Am I going to get thrown into a nursing home? Maybe, possibly an outside chance I get thrown into like a homeless shelter or prison, or I don't know. I have no idea. I know it's more than likely going to be the end of my DoorDash driving career. You know, if I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going or what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm like beyond irritated here. As I put a note in here, you know, Starbucks. I still completed that in 22 minutes for the $5. It should have been 15 minutes, but right away, here it is right here. There you go, $2 offer, decline. $4 Chick-fil-A decline. I think I went ahead and took this $10.25 Starbucks. I did like maybe like 4 Starbucks today. Or was it Panera? I don't know. I'm not going to be able to keep track. You guys, you know, tally up these different orders for me because I can't do it. $4.75 and $5.50 tip for $10.25. $5.75 McDonald's, and look how close. Is it just right next door I'm delivering, or what the heck? I'm kind of, all the mileage is because I'm out of position. So I start heading that way, and I get there, and I almost didn't see this. I had Safari, like the web browser, pulled up on my phone, and then I went to, because I was researching like where the customer was that I was dropping off to, and then I pulled back up the DoorDash and seen this stack for only adding a half a mile, and I hurried up and grabbed it right at the last second. So now you're talking $2 or 2 orders for $10, hardly going anywhere. So the first one just went right across the street to a medical office, and there's the pay on that, $3.25 and $2.50 tip. And then the other one went just down the street like a traffic light distance, and to another like a dentist office, $2 and $2.25 tip. So had the $10 in 22 minutes. So easy as could be right there. Upside Down Meyer went ahead and declined that at 8:04. I think I took this. It's pretty much staying in zone. It's only 1 mile upside down, so I took it. I had this done in 18 minutes for the $5. So it's, you know, it is what it is. Another upside down Starbucks. I went ahead and took this one as well. I'm not going to tank the AR. So if it's within reason on the mileage and it's staying in zone, I'm going to start taking them again. You know, for right now, $4 and a $3 tip. Was that Starbucks or Panera? It was Starbucks. Okay, there we go. 21.25 Meyer, 1 item, 2 units. Now, I mentioned in the last video that I hope they keep doing this, but like today they didn't show the breakdown on every shopping order, so I don't know. I don't know why you just show it on some of them, but you know, who knows. I took this. I get this store. All it is drinking straws. Two boxes. They're only $1.79 each. But so I took this screenshot. But once I went back there and clicked on scan item barcode, then something different showed up on the next screen. Then the quantity of 2 was crossed out and a 1 next to it. And even if I wanted to, I couldn't change the quantity. I could only enter in a quantity of 1, and that was it. So I went ahead, I just got 1. I just, assumed that the customer changed the quantity on that. Then right, I think as I was checking out or just after I checked out, somewhere in that time frame, I got a push notification saying that this order was modified. So I drive, how many miles was it? Almost 20 miles total on my car to deliver a $1.79 box of straws. Pretty crazy. 1925, and there's the tip right there. Appreciate it very much. This went to like some kind of daycare. I was on a residential street and it was all houses. I thought, well, maybe it's a daycare, somebody's, doing out of their home or whatever. But then I got past the houses, and this was a building, a business building that I delivered to at the end of all the houses. Okay, coming back to zone, I got off the exit, and it would have been nice if I would have got this while I was getting off the exit, but I got off, I was past TJ's, had to turn around, come back to it, and got my $5.50 in 18 minutes, $2 and a $3.50 tip. Then you see that I closed that out at 9:54. Then I had a long break. Didn't put my dash on a pause or anything. There was just a break between orders, and I did not mess with like any of the other apps today. I didn't turn on Uber at all. I didn't want to mess with that. I didn't want to mess with any of the other apps today. So you see here, I stopped at the bank and then came home. But I was only home for, you see here, just a minute. I just basically just said hi to my wife, handed her the cash that I got out of the bank, and then immediately got this order. 30.50. 2 orders, 33 things to shop for, 40 units. Thank you very much for this breakdown. It's very helpful. And you almost don't even have to, if it breaks it down like this for me, so I almost don't have to look at the list. I can, go ahead and make a decision based on that if I want to, and don't even have to look at the list if I don't want, and chance it. But yeah, I went ahead and took this, and so I like it when there's, one customer is a larger order and then the other one's small, so that's what I got here, and 25-minute shopping time, so did pretty good on that. I don't remember any substitution issues. I had the first drop off at 11:14. And then 11.29, so $17.50, a $4 tip, and a $9 tip. Great. So it took about an hour and 15 minutes to make $30. So good order there. And I was able to find Meijer. I went to the right store, and I was able to find both customers. Miraculously. Okay, now I think I get a couple. It's time for the bad Stringtown orders. 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. So went ahead and declined this. Upside down Piata and Genji go. Then right away I get this Bibby Bop. This one didn't look too bad to me, too awfully horrible, so I went ahead and took this. $13, 10 miles, both customers are really close to each other and just one pickup location. I don't know. It didn't seem too bad. So I went ahead and took this. The Bibby Bop was slammed. There was there was at least 3 to 4 other drivers there, plus all the foot traffic. And I like the worker, the one, well, there was 2 workers that, as a girl and a guy, that asked people what they were there for. I was standing right next to a couple other people that they spoke to and asked them what they were there for. And like the guy, he made eye contact with me and saw me, but I don't know. I was dressed just like this. I have no idea why the guy would like completely ignore me after that, or like he asked. There was another guy just standing literally right next to me, 1 foot away, and he helped that guy and asked him what he was there for, made the eye contact with me, completely ignored me, helped a couple other people. Now I'm just standing there. If you don't want to help me, don't help me. That was my attitude. You don't have to give me these orders and help me. I'm not gonna force my way behind the counter and yell at people to get attention, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, super aggressive like some dashers I've seen. I'm not doing it. Um, and then he he comes out to give that guy his order, and even still, I'm standing right there. I'm standing there holding my phone, doing nothing. The worker still doesn't say anything to me. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if I don't know. That was weird. I've had that happen at Tim Hortons once or twice before. They just flat out just completely totally like ignore you. Um but that was different. There wasn't See, here there was other people that they were helping, and they singled me out to ignore me for whatever reason. I don't know, but I'll shut up about it. But this ended up being a 10-minute drop. Yeah, I just stood there, got no help, and had to drop it. So, and they weren't bringing. There's a pickup area with shelves and where they normally put the orders. And they weren't bringing any orders out and setting them there either. So, I don't know. And then I kind of figured I was prepared for this. I figured the second I dropped that, I was going to be bombarded with the bad Stringtown orders. Here's the first one. I declined this. It's only $4 per order, so that was a decline. I was only going to do 2, maybe 3 declines and then pause. Okay. So this took me to 44% acceptance rate. Okay. And 1225 Jersey Mike's. Again, this is going out east. I'll have to add the return mileage back. I don't know. I didn't feel good about this when I declined that. And then 850 Dairy Queen going to the Hilltop. Not doing it. So then I went ahead and did my pause. And I figured I would get out of that Stringtown Road area, go all the way to Meyer. I had to get something inside Meyer, so I did that. I wanted to wait. I actually got to Meyer about 12:10, but I wanted to wait until about 12:15 to let all these customers that place an order right at 12 o'clock noon on the nose, all these people all at the same time with little to no tip on the order. Just let all them place their orders, let all of that get assigned to Dashers. I'll wait till 12:15 and unpause it. Okay? And again, it worked like a charm. The second I unpaused, I got a 11:25 4 mile Meijer. It worked. Okay? So I was standing right there in front of the Meijer. So it's 2 cakes, which might seem kind of scary, but I actually went right back to the bakery department. These both of these were sitting right there. This is like a 10-second shop. So I got really lucky on that. And then delivered at 12:31, 16 minutes for 11:25. Great. $4.25 and $7 tip. Okay. The problem was, guess where this delivered? Stringtown Road. I went right back to Stringtown Road to deliver this. It went to the Texas Roadhouse. So, folks, you know what time it is. It's still in that 12 o'clock hour. I got 2 declines before I even got to my car. Just in the time of closing out that order inside the Texas Roadhouse and walking out the door in the little sidewalk area to get to my car, 2 declines. $4 plus $1 for verifying store holiday hours. Isn't it a little bit early for that? And 5.5 miles. Even if I was able to get the dollar, it's still upside down, decline. And then and $6, 6 mile. Where is this going? I can't make out that street. South High area, but kind of farther down South High. Yeah, this could be a home. This could be a business. I don't know that. Yeah, that I didn't like that order, so decline. And guess what? Another pause. So I pause it, I come home, had to go to the bathroom, walk the dog, unpaused at 12:56. I was getting tired at this point. I tried to lay down but technology really irritates me sometimes. My phone today, earlier I had a problem. It wasn't connecting to my car, the Bluetooth. I don't know what was going on. And then so that issue finally resolved. And then after that, my notifications on DoorDash, something was wrong with that, where I was not receiving the sound alert for orders. So I wanted to lay down and maybe possibly take a quick nap and let an order wake me up, but the sound was off for notifications. So I couldn't take a nap. I had to keep looking at the phone. It's irritating. I got an upside down Massey's decline. And then you see, so 12 minutes goes by and I'm just kind of snoozing and get this $22 9.5 mile Giant Eagle. 9 things to shop for. So I went in and took this. Got some cleaning stuff in here, some rice cakes, some couple cases of sparkling water. Pretty straightforward, 7-minute shop. This delivered to some kind of business, downtown. This might have been like some kind of daycare too, I think. $8.75 and a $13.53 tip. Okay, and then I get my last order, and I thought, well, yeah, let's do this. $13.75, coming back to zone. But I probably should have zoomed in on that house location. That's Darbydale. And I told there's road construction down there. So this mileage right here is inaccurate. 16.8 miles. This was, you have to add about, there's probably an additional 6 miles on top of that I put on my car today because of the longer route that I had to go to that customer and back. And so, but whatever. Okay, so as you see, I'm right there. I'm just, a block or two away from this Chocolate Cafe Express. Never heard of it before, but I got there 4 minutes later, and it's a abundant fruit and dip delight small fruit bouquet. Wonder what this is going to look like. And so next screenshot, I took a picture of it. This picture didn't turn out really good, but there it is. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool how they packaged it and everything, um, I set that in the front seat to take that picture, and then I knew that probably wouldn't fit in my delivery bag, so I actually put that in one of the catering bags, actually. And the long drive down to for hours and hours and hours it took for me to drive down to Darbydale, and I closed that out. There it is right there. Thank you very much. 1375. But it's, you see there 1-800-Flowers order. So maybe possibly it's kind of like these Best Buy orders where the customers can't leave a tip. So I also got today, congratulations to me. I got a 1-star customer rating today. I've held a 5-star for a few 4 or 5 months now, maybe 6 months or whatever, and I got a 1-star today. Appreciate it. It could have been this customer. This was one of the like no contact delivery customers where it has like you go to close it out and it's like the multiple steps. It like forced me to call the customer first. So I let it ring like 3 times and nobody's picking up. So I hung up, and then that unfroze step number 2, take a picture. So I left it at the door. It's not like I set this thing out in the sun or anything. It was in a shaded area next to the front door. Took my picture, closed out the order. And so who knows? Maybe that was the 1-star. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know. It is what it is. And then I'm coming back to zone again. I'm probably only going to do I wanted to end the dash around 3, so I'll do like 1 or 2 declines and then just shut it off. Look at this right here. 1650, 21 miles. And you got to go to 2 places and 2 drop-offs, and one of them's north of downtown Columbus. I mean, I don't know. I I don't know, folks. Whatever. 6 minutes later, not doing it. $10, $50 General. I got a shop for 13 units. Not doing it. I don't know. I guess it's not too bad, but it's decline and log off here. There's my dash summary. So what is this? $152 and 6 active hours. What is that? $25 an hour, my average. Great. So from that standpoint, it's a good day. But I had 2 hours and 40 minutes downtime. um, yeah, on a Friday. So I don't know. Well, a couple of those was my pauses. Okay, so that was close to 45 minutes to an hour of it was my two pauses, and then that other kind of long break where I just didn't get anything and went to the bank and came here. 15 deliveries, $152. Lifetime DoorDash deliveries, 4,726. 148 miles driven. So, if it wasn't for that last order, the mileage would have looked a lot better. But, you know, and raised my acceptance rate up to finish the dash at 45%. So, next week, I think I want to try to get, for the first time in quite a while, I haven't been up into the 50s in a while, and I want to try to get up to that. So we'll see. But first, folks, I gotta take these, tomorrow and Sunday off. Trust me, I've been ready for this 2 day break. So, so that's it for now. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot. And as always, be sure to drive safe out there. We'll catch you at the next video. Thanks again.